Can Obiter Dicta become a precedent? Can a judgment be passed based on Obiter Dicta? Can Obiter Dicta become Ratio Decidendi in the future? You're watching Mr. Ask Me Anything. Dear friends, in this video series, I will simplify the concept and the meaning of Ratio Decidendi and Obiter Dicta, and also differentiate Ratio Decidendi from Obiter Dicta. What if I told you that not everything a judge says in a courtroom becomes law? Some words become binding rules, others are just opinions. So how do you know what part of a judgment you must follow and what to ignore? The answer lies in two powerful legal doctrines, Ratio Decidendi and Obiter Dicta. Let us break them down in the simplest way possible. Let us try to understand what is Ratio Decidendi first. Ratio Decidendi means the reason for the decision. In Latin, it refers to the legal principle or rule of law on which the decision of a case is based. Ratio Decidendi is the heart of the judgment. It is the binding part that must be followed by lower courts in similar future cases. It creates a precedent under the doctrine of stare decisis. How to find the Ratio Decidendi? Ask yourself, what legal rule did the court apply to reach this decision? Example, let us look in Kesavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala case 1973. The central issue in this case was whether the parliament has the power to amend any part of the constitution, including the fundamental right. Here, the court said parliament can make changes to the constitution, that is, parliament can amend the constitution under article 368 of the Indian constitution. But some core values like rule of law, separation of powers, judicial review and secularism cannot be destroyed. These are part of the basic structure and even parliament cannot touch them. This become Ratio Decidendi because this principle, which limits parliament's power to protect the basic structure, was essential to the court's final decision and it became binding constitutional law. This is a perfect example of Ratio Decidendi because it formed the foundation of the judgment, it settled a constitutional principle, it became a binding precedent for all future cases. Now let us come to part 2. What is Obiter Dicta? Obiter Dicta means things said by the way. In Latin, it refers to statements, opinions or observation made by the judge which are not essential to the decision. These are extra comments made by the judges while delivering the judgment. They do not directly affect the outcome of the case. They are not binding but may be used as persuasive authority. Here, persuasive authority means a legal opinion, judgment or a source that a court is not bound to follow, but can consider if court finds opinion, judgment or source helpful or convincing. Example, let us look in the same Kesavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala 1973 case. The case was about whether parliament can amend any part of the constitution, including fundamental right. The Supreme Court ruled the parliament can amend the constitution but not destroy its basic structure. That was the Ratio Decidendi. Obiter Dicta in this case is that some judges opines that the preamble is not a part of the constitution and therefore cannot be used to limit parliament's power to amend. This was not essential to final decision. Later, in Birubari Union case, it was held that the preamble is not enforceable. But in Kesavananda Bharati case, a few judges discussed the role of preamble in interpreting the constitution even though the final verdict did not rely on it. This is Obiter Dicta because it was a comment made by judges not necessary for deciding the main question of constitutional amendment power. It did not directly influence the final outcomes. It was a judicial opinion and not binding as precedent. Now let us come to part 3, that is key differences between Ratio Decidendi and Obiter Dicta. Number 1, Ratio Decidendi means the reason for the decision while Obiter Dicta means things said by the way, that is extra comments that are not the main point of the talk. Number 2, Ratio Decidendi is the legal rule or principle that form the base of the court's decision, while Obiter Dicta refers to the extra comments or observation made by the judge that are not essential to decide the case. Number 3, Ratio Decidendi is the central reason why the court gave that particular judgment, while Obiter Dicta is just a side remark that explains or discusses something but is not part of the main decision. Number 4, Ratio Decidendi is binding on lower lower courts and often on the same court in a future cases, while Obiter Dicta is not binding but can be referred to for guidance. Number 5. Courts must follow Ratio Decidendi in similar future cases, while Obiter Dicta can be considered if the court finds it useful or convincing. 6. Ratio Decidendi becomes binding precedent, while Obiter Dicta is called a persuasive precedent. Number 7. Ratio Decidendi is very important because it forms the core of the judgment, while Obiter Dicta is less important as it only helps in understanding the judge's thinking. Number 8. Let us look to the example. If a judge says Parliament cannot destroy the basic structure of the Constitution, that is Ratio Decidendi. But if the judge adds this may also apply during emergencies, then extra opinion is Obiter Dicta. So at the conclusion, we should remember Ratio Decidendi is the law laid down by the court which is binding in future cases, while Obiter Dicta is just the judge's opinion which is useful but not mandatory. Now let us answer the questions. Question 1. Can Obiter Dicta become a precedent? Answer yes, as persuasive precedent, but it is not binding. It may be followed if found useful. Question 2. Can a judgment be passed based on Obiter Dicta? Answer no, but it can support a judgment when no clear rules exist. Question 3. Can Obiter Dicta become Ratio Decidendi in the future? Answer yes. If that point becomes the main issue in a future, it becomes binding. Here, precedent means a legal decision or a judgment made by a court that is used as a rule or example in future cases with similar facts. Dear friend, if this video helped you to clarify the concept of Ratio Decidendi and Obiter Dicta, please do like, share and don't forget to subscribe. Comment below if you want the next video on stare decisis and the hierarchy of a precedent. Thank you for watching Mr. Ask Me Anything. For this video, I'm signing out. Till then, take care. See you in next video.